Fuzzfinger here, thank you for joining me, and today we're going to continue on with Final Fantasy XIII-2. And after a long arduous trek through some optional areas, collecting some optional fragments, we're finally going to continue on with the main storyline. So select Academia 4XX on the Historia Crux, and let's go and use the gate, which we activated quite a while back now. In fact, before we do that, we're just going to hand in the Chaos fragment we collected in Serendipity. You might not have done that, if not then you can ignore the first part. But I certainly did, so I want to go and do that. You need to go and speak to Hope, and then you can choose a pretty awesome weapon for one of your party members. So if this is your first time back in Academia since we unlocked the optional gate, then you will be in the Grand Avenue area, which is where I am. So you may want to hop onto a chocobo, just to make the journey to the North Building a little quicker. Now, as I say, we are going to see Hope and Elisa, which is, as you probably remember, in the building right up the very top. I'll probably not come in the quickest way here, we can't jump over that, so we'll have to go all the way up around the bridge and down the other side. By this point you should pretty much definitely have fully explored this map for the achievement in the 400, the achievement side quest in the 400 AF version. You do get a fragment, but you also need to explore a version of this area which we can't yet access. But I will, as I think I've mentioned before, do a video on that side quest, just explaining all the areas you need to explore. And since we can't access them all yet, I haven't done it. Now remember, we're only having to come here if you've collected the Chaos Crystal from Serendipity, and you need to collect 10,000 casino coins in order to do so. You can check out the video on Serendipity that I did a few videos back to find out the best way to collect those coins and the other fragments that are in that area. So when you're ready, speak to Hope. And once you finish speaking to him, speak to him again, in order to hand over the Chaos Crystal.
Where did your travels take you?
We ended up at a casino called Serendipity. Have you heard of it, Hope?
There's an ancient legend that mentions a palace by that name. The story itself is incomplete, and nobody knows how it's supposed to end.
So it's a paradise that was never finished, huh?
Right. But we won't be letting our story end halfway through.
One Chaos Crystal, just like you ordered.
Just don't ask for any more.
Ma, you're serious?
That's incredible. May I borrow it for a while?
Of course.
As promised, I'll have a prototype weapon ready for you soon. Can you come by the front desk to pick it up later?
Okay, so we don't really have to wait before we can get the weapon. We just need to speak to the person at the front desk.
You're leaving for another time period.
Which is just in this very next room. Okay, so right around to the front of this desk, and you can see the person with the speech bubble above their head. To speak to them.
Sorry to keep you waiting. I assume you're here for the Paradox weapon prototypes. We have a large box and a small box. Which one will you take with you?
You're not gonna tell us what's inside them?
I'm just teasing. You'll have a chance to look them over. Which model?
Now I'm going to choose the weapon for Noel, since I just recently collected a nice new shiny weapon for Sarah from one of the bosses we killed on the Arcalite step. But they only have a 5% drop chance, those weapons, so you may not have got one. So it's perfectly fine for you to choose a weapon for Sarah if that's what you want to do.
We will change the future. I promise you.
Now the weapon we've just collected has its power based on how many fragments you have. So if you can see, it's a big upgrade for me for Noel. If you have 50% of the fragments, it adds 50 to the strength and magic stat, which is very useful. If you have 100% of the fragments, it adds 100. And not only that, but when you have all the fragments, you get an extra bonus of plus 80 to each character's favourite stat, so strength or magic. So they're very, very nice weapons, so long as you have the fragments to make them worthwhile.
Where should I go now?
And speaking of fragments, we've actually collected over 30, but actually probably close to 40 in fact, from the Vile Peaks, both Urba areas, 300 and 400, and the Captain Cryptic and Terminal fragments from around this zone. These were all optional fragments that we've collected since we actually reached this gate and were able to use it to continue with the story, which means we've collected some nice CP bonuses, some good expansions in our Crystarium. We're well prepared to carry on at this point, I think. So examine this gate when you're ready to continue,
It does look like
and then answer yes to the live trigger, or I'm ready, I think the option is.
Before we jump through this gate, we better make sure we're good and ready.
But as they say, once you've accepted I'm ready, you can't return easily. So make sure you really are ready.
We still don't know if he really is against us or not. This silence makes me nervous. He's always been deadly quiet before taking action. It's like the calm before the storm. If he is in Valhalla, then he's been watching everything we've done here. And if he sees a weakness, he'll exploit it without mercy. We let our guard down, we die.
So we better not use the gate until we are definitely sure.
Exactly.
Let's go. We don't have anything else to do here now. If we have to fight Caius now, then so be it. I'm ready.
All right then. Let's go do it.
Leaving without even a farewell?
What? No, of course not. We were going to drop by and see you before we left.
That's what we figured. Thought we'd save you the trip.
Thanks.
I hope the future turns out like this. A place where we can be happy.
Sometimes, when it looks like all hope is lost, people can turn against each other. They end up full of hate. But really, when they stop and think about it, they're making themselves sad for no reason. Director, what are you looking at me like that for? Huh?
Sorry, I was just remembering something. There was a time when I almost lost myself because I had so much hate in me. And then some friends showed me a way out.
Right. You mean lightning and snow.
It all began back then. I remember, Sarah. Weren't you the first one who said you wanted to save Cocoon? It was because Snow and Lightning vowed to carry out your wishes that we all came together back then. And to this day, Vanille and Fang still keep Cocoon safe.
And maybe Lightning does too.
Yes, but the old ark is almost finished. It will fall soon. It's going to be hard for many of us to abandon our old home.
But when you raise the new ark, maybe you can help our friends as well. They won't have to bear the burden of a world anymore. And just maybe, Vanille and Fang will be released from the crystal.
That was always in the back of your mind, wasn't it, Director? If we abandon the old cocoon, maybe you could free your friends. Or am I wrong?
Well,
It's okay. We all knew. We wanted to help anyway.
I've had the great fortune to be helped by many people over the years. Sarah and Noel, you're the ones who showed me how the future should be. You gave us all a motive. You helped us make the Academy what it has become.
Well, we got lost a lot. I don't know how many times I almost gave up.
Humanity is doomed to repeat the mistakes of the past. It's part of being human. But but we also have the ability to build new futures.
Well, as you would say, Noel, exactly. Once preparations are complete, we plan to journey ahead 100 years. I want to be there. I want to see the raising of Cocoon with my own eyes.
I'm sure we'll meet again, Hope.
And when we do, we'll have lightning with us.
Right. So, I guess this isn't really goodbye then, is it?
For a new future.
Yeah, Poopa?
See ya. I'm sorry. But in the new future that you wish to build, I no longer exist.
Now we do lose control of the Historia Crux for a fair while, so we will be making our third and final visit to the Void Beyond. So select that to continue. And we can now fully access this area and collect 5 easy fragments as well. These are not optional fragments either, you do have to collect them.
Is this the Void Beyond? No! Mog? Come on, Mog. What's wrong? Why won't you answer me? This can't be.
Okay, so now Sarah is all alone.
Where did Noel get to? How do I find it?
So all we can do here is walk forwards along the linear path. We can't use our Moogle throw in this area, as you can see Mog's using, well, he's doing his best Casper impression by the looks of it. We can still use the Mog clock, and we can still use our Moogle hunt, we just cannot use the Moogle throw.
How do I get out of here?
And just around here, you should be able to take proper full control of Sarah once again. There we go.
Is that you?
And now when you can start running, you can also access your menu, and I would suggest that you do so. And then go to the party paradigms, and since we haven't got Noel, we'll just need to reorganise our current paradigms to something more useful than their default settings. So I recommend that you have a Monster Commando. Probably the Dragoon, unless you've managed to level one of the red Chocobo or Chi-Chu up at all. I haven't. I have been slacking a little bit on my monster levelling, so at some point I will have to catch up with that. So I'm just going to set up a couple of paradigms. Slash and Burn you'll almost definitely want, probably as your default paradigm, which is your Ravager and a Commando. That's going to be your main damage paradigm, and the monster groups here, by the way, are very easy. They really are quite quick to kill, the encounters. But I'm going to set a couple of paradigms up just in case we need them on the upcoming boss. So I've also set War and Peace, which you should probably do, which is using Sarah as a medic along with your commando crystal. Anyway, come and speak to Yule once you've set your paradigms up, and after the conversation you'll get a fragment.
You're Yule, aren't you?
Yes, I am one of many Yules. From your perspective, I am a Yule from the ancient past.
But where are we? Are we trapped in this place?
I am not truly here. I only watch events from a distant time. This place, it is a shadow of Valhalla. In the depths of the unseen realm, I see you held prisoner.
A shade of Valhalla? What kind of world is Valhalla anyway?
It is a place where all stand still. It is the future that follows destruction. A world where even time is no longer.
Are you saying I can't ever leave?
If you do not escape, the dream will go on forever.
Wait, don't go!
So basically, that's what this zone is about. We move through the fairly linear path and speak to different time incarnations of Yule. 5 times in total, so that was the first time, and we collect a fragment each time as well. So you can see that Yule appears as a waypoint marker. So just each time go and speak to her to advance the story, and there are a couple of treasure chests that we couldn't collect the last time we were here, so you can get them now as well.
You're a different Yule, aren't you?
Yes. You have not met me yet. I call your present age my home. You and I are the same. We are blessed by Etro, her chosen servants.
Servants of the goddess?
The power to step outside the timeline. The power to witness the future. These gifts come from Etro. Her servants are known by her blessings.
Is Noel Etro's servant too?
The goddess answered his prayers and opened a portal through time. While he does not possess the Farsight, he is chosen by Etro and has his role to play.
There's our next fragment.
So the ability to change the future is a gift from the goddess herself.
Now some of the treasure chests we've already collected from our previous visits. And there's another one just up here. And once again we need to interact with Yule.
I suppose you're another Yule as well.
Yes. I am from a future you have never known. Very soon my presence here will fade. There is little time to tell you of the things I have seen.
Now don't worry that Sarah's by herself at the moment. Noel does join us again a little bit later, and any CP that you collect now with Sarah, Noel also will have once we've taken control of him again.
Can't get through this way.
You can use your Moogle Hunt here to reveal Chocolina, although I don't believe that Chocolina has any new wares at the moment. Although her shop will be upgraded to include some new stuff a little bit in the future. But you can still use her for potions and whatnot, anything you might need, Phoenix Downs. Although we just need to pop back down. I thought the next Yule was up here, but we don't have to come up just yet. So it does pay to check the map every now and then for the waypoints.
Once upon a time, there were 6 and 1 Lassie, and their story is a miracle. The destinies of the 6 were bound through the completion of a focus that belonged to the 1.
The 6. That was Lightning and Snow and the others. And the 1, that would be me?
4th Yule, and that's the 4th fragment. Just before we go back on ourselves, let's open this chest over here. I think this contains a live trigger reward. Yep. Okay, and now we need to head back up the steps that we've just come down towards Chocolina again, to find the 5th and final Yule. And there she is.
The goddess Etro saw that the Lassie fulfilled their tasks. She saw their courage and took pity on them. She blessed the 6 and the 1 and one other, a child. And so she released them from the prison of crystal.
You mean it was the goddess who saved us that day?
Yes, but in doing so, she warped time itself. Etro was fading away, and she could not restore it. But perhaps you had the power to repair the distortion, and perhaps you did.
Perhaps I did. What do you mean? Is it too late now?
The future? I can no longer see it.
And there we have it, the stairs are now repaired, the steps, and we have our final fragment, a nice 5 easy fragments for us, and a new waypoint has appeared which you'll want to approach when you're ready to face a boss. Evidently this is the part of the area we was able to access earlier, so you've probably looted all the chests around here already. But if you haven't, then just have a look around now for them.
You're Yule too. Which era do you come from?
I am the one who lives in all the ages. I am the one who dies in all the ages. I am the one who suffers countless partings again and again.
Have you come to tell me something?
You summoned me here. In this place, you can see all your heart's desires come true.
I don't understand.
Look, this is the place where all time flows. The dreams of humanity are here washed ashore. A world without beginning or end. A world closed upon itself. Why do you want to change time? Why do you try to stand in his way? Why do you continue on this journey? As you change the timeline, you come closer to death.
How?
But now,
Your journey is over.
I don't understand.
You don't need to.
Now, if you've stuck with me with the Crystarium expansions, then you'll find this fight incredibly easy. You just need to stay in slash and burn, and Caius will fall very quickly. If you haven't been following my Crystarium expansions, or you're quite far behind on them, then you might need to employ other tactics, such as using your medic, Sarah's a medic, and bringing out a sentinel when he does his special abilities. Chain Break is quite an annoying ability which drops his chain bonus back down to 0. But he doesn't have that much health anyway, so. But as you can see, he was very easy for us to kill.
To live is without meaning.
paradox ending we can do later, where we do this fight again, but he is much harder, much harder. But that's an optional paradox ending, which we'll certainly be doing anyway.
You fight bravely. Noel gave up much more quickly than this.
What have you done to him?
He is living in a time and place where he knows only joy. He acknowledged his defeat, and now he is at peace.
I don't believe you. Noel would never give in to you.
Child of miracles, traveler of time guided by Etro, listen to me. Each time you fulfill a wish of your heart, someone else's dream is shattered. You conjure miracles, but when you do, the seeds of tragedy are sown in other lives. Are you prepared to bear that burden, that responsibility?
Why do you fight us?
To save her. Long ago, the goddess Etro rescued you and your friends from your fate as l'Cie. For you, it was a miracle. For Yule, a sentence of death. In that moment, immutable history was transformed. Time was twisted. With each distortion of the future, the life of the series was cut short. So often have I seen this. Seen her wilt before my eyes. When time is in flux, the future changes, and Yule is consumed. So I will dam the river of time and tear down the foundations of history. Only then will your suffering come to an end.
You're going to destroy history just so you can save Yule?
Yes. You have interfered with my task at every turn, but your meddling is over. I will slay the goddess and return everything to Valhalla. In a place without time or future, Yule will be free for eternity.
Caius?
Surrender now to your heart's desire.
Okay, so it looks like things are starting to heat up now. We'll find out what happens with Sarah in the next video. Thank you very much for joining me. I've been Fuzzfinger, and I'll see you next time.